So for instance, imagine one country, only one country, Burkina Faso, going out to war because they are living in such volatile state at the moment. They're just listening to the news and seeing 18 assassination attempts on the president's life. So where are the global powers in this period? Where is African Union? Where are the likes of the United Nations? What are they doing in this period? Are they going to send military aid? What's going to happen? I don't know about you, but in the recent times, I've been super excited about the movement some of the African leaders are taking, especially in the recent times. Ibrahim Traoré, the bold, visionary, and courageous leader ever, you guys, ever. We've had, great leaders in the past, like currently in Ghana. When I walked through the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, I couldn't help but feel his presence, even though he's been gone for so many years. When I entered into the museum where some of his remains, like the things he used in the past, and some of the stories and places he visited, and the words that he spoke or had written some when he was still on earth, you guys, I could feel the goosebumps on me. And guess what? I do feel like the current president of Ghana is also going in that path. President John Mahama. Let me know in the comment section from my fellow Ghanaians, and thank you so much for the love that you have shown me on my recent video. I cannot even I am so grateful. I am really grateful for it. I'm Ijoma. If you're coming for the first time, I am a pharmacist first and foremost. I studied pharmacy in school. But at the same time, I'm the content creator, so I create content around health, lifestyle, and travel, right? But aside that, I've just been seeing in the recent times what has been happening in Africa, and it really makes me glad. One is Ibrahim Traoré. See, everybody in the world is standing an ovation for this man, a visionary man. He's such a visionary man. What I've learned from Ibrahim is to always stand for the truth and fight for what is yours, whether or not nobody's standing with you. Look, as long as you know that this thing you're fighting for is the truth and is right, and you're fighting for the oppressed, you're fighting for those who need the freedom, then do it, even if it means you standing alone. Because it got into power in 2022. And in that time, till now, it has had 18 assassination attempts. Isn't that crazy? I was watching the news yesterday. I was just watching like various videos online. And I could feel the shivers in me. Like, why? What is happening? God forbid someone tries to do something different and fight for his nation. God forbid someone wants to finally stand for what is true. God forbid someone finally takes the bold step to do what is right for his nation. God forbid. He has a family. He is super young. This man is not past, from the news I watched yesterday, 35 years old. Can you leave him alone? Is he harming people? What has he done wrong? All I am seeing so far is to develop his country, Burkina Faso. Can you see how? So first of all, we hear about the electric cars. Another one is him getting like drones, because allegedly, and yeah, the third point being him denouncing France from ruling over them. Like, no, you can't rule over us anymore, because allegedly, when they needed the weapons, one of the things is when they need weapons for their military guys in Burkina Faso, they can't just go into the market and get. They have to go through France, and France would deny them of getting these weapons from any other country or nation or continent aside the western part of the world. So they wouldn't let them get like the weapons from, say, for instance, Russia or like other maybe European countries. And you and I know that when it comes to weapons, the Russians, and those other guys are really good from Turkey and all that. So they would now sell to them weapons that wouldn't work or has an issue or that is old or that is faulty. And because of this, these people cannot be on their feet because there's been a lot of security issues in Burkina Faso. Now, after they denounced France, they don't want anything to do with France. They sent their troops. Go back to your country. Let us focus on. We know what is good for us, right? And let us focus. Now, he's seen as a bad person because why? Because finally,
Burkina Faso has made some bold moves. He's cracked down on terrorism, taken back control of land, launched anti-corruption efforts, cut ties with France, built closer ties with Russia, and worked through the tough process of returning to civilian rule. But even with all these efforts, there's still resistance to his leadership in the country. In this video, we're going to break down the latest attempt on Traoré's life and what happened afterward. Burkina Faso had become the symbol of a new, fearless Africa, bold, determined, and ready to stand on its own. Leading this wave of change was Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a 36-year-old soldier who rose to power through a popular uprising.
Like there's an adage in my own country, in Nigeria, that says that it's only those that wear the shoe that know where it pinches, right? An outsider can just come and tell you, okay, this is the problem of your nation. I'm going to just give us this and this, and we're going to solve it. No, you don't know. Allow the people in the nation decide what the problem is and decide how to go about it. Why are you in the matter? Why are you in the issue? And I'm really glad that Africa, a lot of Africans and the African nation like Burkina Faso, you see Mali, you see Niger. I'm really glad about it. I'm watching the news and my heart gladdens. I know for a fact that it's not going to be easy because a tweet by someone saying that he said, Bob Marley once said, you need to fight for Africa for the freedom of your children. Although your colonizers are going to resist you, but don't give up because it will come. Something like that. I'm just paraphrasing, but if I see it, I'm going to put it up here. And that's just the truth, right? Before now, I've made some statements that are ignorant, and I will be like, oh, like, I'm not sure things are really working as before. It seems as though the old times, the colonization times were better. I never understood because, first of all, we're not taught these things in school. We have no idea, right? But for history not to repeat itself, really, we need to start teaching ourselves. We need to start going online. We need to start introducing these curriculums in school about the history of Africa, not told by an outsider, but people who had lived in that times and seasons. And that's why I believe that we need to start putting in more works and going to countries, talking to people, asking the right questions, we need to start documenting a lot of things because very soon we will not have anything to fall back. So I'm so glad for YouTube because in the recent times I will see myself having to take it by the bull, by the horn and going online to check about it. The other day I saw the map of Africa, what it looked like what it used to look like. And I was so shocked and how like it was demarcated before the colonization era, pre-colonization era of the map. In my opinion, this is the best time African leaders come together to fight. This is the best time Africans come together and take a stand. But are we going to ever have a united Africa? Because when I get through like what I read on socials and all that, some people say it may never happen. Some people say they look forward to it happening. Some people believe that it's going to definitely happen. But one thing I'm really excited about is that Africa is rising and you can see it. The other time is the Namibian president, the first ever female president in Namibia, if I'm correct. Please let me know in the comment section. Is taking a stance and saying, see, US brought out a list of visa-free, like countries who can travel to US without visa. And not a single African country is in it. Not a single African country is on that list. And there are about 40 countries on that list. And she said that for Namibia, the US residents trooping over 800,000 US tourists came into Namibia in 2023 alone, over 800,000. Just so imagine. So now it's difficult for an African to even get US visa. The rigorous documents you're going to fill, the high fee, the rejection rates, it's crazy. Now she says no, for the US, we're also going to put a sanction, so you can't come in without getting a visa. Tit for tat. Oh, if you do this, we're going to do this. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Really, please let me know your thoughts in the concerning what is really happening in the recent times to Africa. Let me know. I know I didn't mention all the achievement that Ibrahim Traoré is currently doing in Burkina Faso, but I really like you to like point some of these achievements out, because one thing we're not going to do is to undermine the achievements that is currently happening in Africa. Because I didn't like really script, I just really wanted to talk about this. And this is also to introduce my series, which is going to be about Africa. We're going to be talking about the changes that are happening in Africa, the way Africa is rising. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurs in Africa that are shaping the industry, people shaping the industry in Africa, and just promoting Africa. That's going to be one of the series we're going to put on here. It may turn into a podcast or just here, but I'm just gonna start, because one thing I've taught myself in the recent times is to start before I'm ready. So in the meantime, you can subscribe to this channel. All right, bye.